Welcome everybody, good morning. If I sound a little bit tired, then that's according to my first electric ride in this morning. It was a train, and it had some issues. Well, today I heard an awful thing this morning, that in Germany we lack a few things in terms of connectivity, and I saw it when I was driving here, that I didn't have any connectivity. So connectivity and digital mobility at Volkswagen is something where you need to think ahead of Germany, of course, and you need to think ahead of Europe, and you need to think ahead of everything you know. And that's what we're tackling currently at Volkswagen. We have a journey along to what we call digital mobility. And this means everything you see in the future for Volkswagen depends on two major pillars from a strategic point of view. That's electric driving and digital connectivity. You know, and this slide is basically showing things you all are pretty much aware of, but I want to give you a few numbers here, and all of them, they rely on the upper left corner, which is actually connectivity. You need to be connected to tackle every other challenge in automotive industry. Connectivity relies on GSM networks, and there is something where you really need to do something, because especially for Germany, I can give you one of my famous examples. If you drive from Dresden to Berlin, once you're out of Dresden, you have no connectivity, even on the Autobahn. So that's really an issue, and it's not network related, it's from all connectivity providers in Germany, so please fix it. Of course, if you have the occasion to drive along, autonomous driving is one of the core pillars for moving our automotive industry to the future. Because usually people are spending 90 minutes and over 90 minutes in their cars, and they spend this also in searching for parking spots within the cities, which tackles the lower left corner. Actually, there's a lot of pollution coming out of that, because even with electric cars, you waste energy in driving around and not being effectively driven to the point where you want to go. And usage-based driving, usage-based car sharing is coming more and more to our future in the automotive industry to really shape it, to really help you as a driver coming from A to B and moving along, because this is where things are getting really interesting, because you want to share your car. You want a car right where you are. You want mobility right where you are. Not you want to search for something, not you want to find a way to deal with your car. You want mobility. And this is one of the most crucial things in the changing society, especially when you take a look at it in the growing nations. They don't feel that they have to own a car. They feel they need mobility. And these things need to be tackled. And this change is happening fast. And with this change coming along, what is Volkswagen going to do with that? We said we want digital mobility for everyone. And of course, digital mobility for everyone needs three major pillars within our business. It means we need to strengthen our core business. The core business is cars. You won't get a whole digital company when you are building cars, because you've got an asset there and you need to use that asset. And this asset is much more than just building cars. It's giving people an experience. It's giving people a third place for their living. That's our car business. And of course, customer satisfaction and putting the customer in your thinking, write everything along that. That's one of the most important things the automotive industry has to learn. And of course, we are not there yet, but you want a profit contribution. You want to make profit out of your digital services. You want to make profit out of digital mobility. The major effectives there are actually using that integrated and seamless. You don't want to sit in your car and enter street and place again because you already have it in your calendar. You just want to go to your car, drive along, and even autonomously, you want the car to drive along and you don't want to use it in that way. And of course, it needs to be integrated. You need to have the integration in either your private space or your office space. Otherwise, you're lost. And talking about being lost, it needs to be relevant for you. Being relevant for us means you have to stay on top of the user's needs in terms of mobility, in terms of driving, in terms of moving things ahead. And the IT industry has talked a lot about is context sensitive. Being context sensitive is a lot of, I always say, talking and no action behind that. But you need to understand the context of your user, especially with the data protection going on. You need to really be sure what the user wants. And for the future, and really meaning for the future, you need to be real time. And not only from a maps perspective, not only from a music perspective, not only for everything, you need to know what's happening around the user in his car or in his shared car, whatever. And the easy thing, but you know it's not there yet, it needs to be personalized. You want that the user feels at home in the car. And with the given roads, with the given needs, with the given traffic jams, people spend an awful lot of time in their cars, and you want them to be safe, home, and really good in the car. Of course, this needs to be tackled with a technology model, with a working and delivery model. And let me quickly talk a little bit more about partners and sourcing. With the old model in the automotive industry, there was the OEM and suppliers which got contracted. Let me be clear, this model is dead. We need partners, we need help. We need to move the digital business together with everybody here in the room and lots of more people. Because moving along in a digital area means you need to be fast and you need the experts together on the table and move things together. Of course, you need to build trustful relationships there because we are putting two big communities together, the automotive OEM customers and your customers as partners. And never put customers at risk. That's a very important thing. In terms of culture, you need to change the culture in the automotive business. You need to start thinking more agile. You need to start thinking, hey, how can I really be fast and really be focused on my customer, not on my product? And this is very important for us. This is how we as Volkswagen want to tackle the new digital automotive business. What are we going to do? So this is what was very, very unique, at least from my perspective, to the automotive industry in terms of the electric business. We are launching our electric products under the brand Volkswagen. No sub-branding, just usual naming of the car series. Of course, you've seen all the press releases. I don't have to talk about those cars. It will have a real breakthrough new design. And it's totally awesome. I really love it. Look forward to 2019 when our first car is launching. It will be really awesome. And talking about new space, of course, we'll have a new way of dealing with the interior. We will have a higher quality in interior. But the most important thing, at least from a digital perspective, is what we call third place. that's what I was talking about before. You have your personal workspace and you have your office workspace. And in between, there is the car, there is your mobility. And you want that to be integrated, not as a third ecosystem. You want that to be integrated in the other two. And of course, new intelligence, autonomous driving, full connectivity, and a whole lot of things going on in terms of the integration in the digital ecosystem. And as the colleagues from Audi talked before, of course, there is function on demand. You need that. You need that on a monthly basis, probably. You need that just to switch it on in the car or switch it off once you have used it. To really tackle those things, there is what we call Volkswagen We. Volkswagen We is our new platform, which you might have heard on a few things, but Volkswagen We will be the central hub of your digital needs when it comes to using, owning, sharing your car. That's very important for us, and we want to be your new mobility service provider, especially when traveling, when moving things along. We have launched 2 products, which will I cover on the next slide. That's one of them is We Park, nothing new to you guys, I guess. But we tried to do a different approach. We tried to really be fast into the market, and we tried to integrate a lot of parking providers. And of course, I always have to smile when I see where it's launched. There are big cities like Berlin, Cologne, Hamburg, Augsburg, and Potsdam. And there's still Wolfsburg. So Wolfsburg being a small city, but there you really see the big benefits. We see that especially from 9 to 6 p.m. in the afternoon, people are heavily using this app. That might be true to the case that Volkswagen is one of the major employers in that area, but still they are heavily using it. And of course, I think launching in 1 week, we will have Braunschweig and Hanover. One of the products I really love the most, We Deliver. Starting as a pilot project in Berlin these days, you can use your car as your delivery address for your parcels, for your Amazon shipments, and everything. This is, from my perspective, one of the most helpful things you can offer as a car company to your customers. Because people having a stressful business life, they are not at home. They might not be even able to receive packages in the office without delays of 1 or 2 or whatever weeks due to internal mail deliveries. So if you order something, you want it 24 hours later, but you're not at home. And this really puts you into a point where you see that you really move ahead and really give a benefit to a customer. That might sound odd, that because you've seen a lot of integrations from OEMs in that case, but still, this is where I believe we're starting into a new digital area and move things ahead. Basically, we want to put the future into serious production, which is very, very important for us. Because you've seen Volkswagen, you've seen that we build cars, and we want to really be one of your digital providers. And we want to get in touch with you as partners to help our customers move things ahead. So this is basically what I wanted to talk about. I'm really open to questions now, so I think Annie is going to help me with that. And if there are any questions, please let me know. And Probably if you're an ex-colleague or colleague of mine, we can talk later, so I'll leave that open to people which don't know me.
So you've had a few questions come in. Either I can pick them or you can pick them, but the one at the top, the most voted, urban mobility needs desirable shared services to remove traffic gridlock. What is Volkswagen doing in this domain?
Yeah, we're launching so now where's the question? It got away.
It
so
keeps moving. Sorry,
yeah.
It's moved.
Too fast for me.
When you upvote them, they move.
Urban mobility.
So desirable shared services to remove traffic gridlock.
We're launching a lot of things in that area over the past next months. You've seen Moja, for example, launching in Hanover, the ride-sharing stuff, and you will see that we are going to launch a lot of projects, which I currently cannot talk about, but we will be launching a lot of projects in the urban mobility area, especially fulfilling our promise. Every Volkswagen will be shareable in the future.
We've got a lot of them. The top one is around V2X.
Yeah.
What is the V2X technology that you're going with? Is this an appropriate question?
Yeah, I love that question. Thanks a lot, whoever was doing that. The believing, really, yeah. Actually, when we talk about believing, we believe in every technology there currently. We follow every path there is, and we will see probably in the next 1 or 2 years what we're going to do together with our colleagues from all the other brands in Volkswagen as a standard for us. So this question is really open as of today, and yeah, actually I'm discussing that every week. So let's see how the outcome of the whole discussion is.
So the second one down, I'll come to the next one in a minute. For WePark, have you approached all the parking providers themselves, or is it or is it a third party managing those relationships?
Yeah. Actually, it's currently Volkswagen Financial Services is handling those things, and they are integrating with all the third party providers there as an internal hub for that, and so we're integrating that into our cars then.
Well, the how long is a piece of string question. Which year can we expect to have production level 5 autonomous cars on the roads?
Yeah, I would be happy if I could answer this question. We believe that there's a whole lot of research going on, and there are promises in the market as of today. And there are some companies which are not belonging to Volkswagen, which are in the US somewhere, which are promising those things. We believe that we need to do a lot of research, and we need to be safe on everything there. And so I cannot give you a year. The only thing I can tell you, it will be soon, and it will be, we will be the fastest.
Thanks. You're getting a lot of questions. How do you manage the risk with rapid rollout of connected experiences into series production?
Yeah, good question. Thanks for that. We're trying to separate services from the needed enablers. We'll be launching a few technologies I think in 6 or 7 months, where you can really encapsulate car apps into containers, and then you can push them after production has happened, even to cars on the road. So that's a big shift for us, and that's also a big promise. We want to be digital at this point.
Thank you. So I'm going to slightly reframe this question. So it's talking about autonomous driving. I mean, is this a public transportation question, or is it a private owner question? Do we even know?
Yeah, actually, the only thing I can tell you is out of my personal experience. I'm commuting every Monday and Friday from my hometown near Koblenz to Wolfsburg. And my biggest issue is not in Wolfsburg. My biggest issue is coming from my nice little house to the train station. So there's not even a bus station in range of 5 kilometers. So I live in the middle of nowhere. And that's, from my perspective, it's both issues. It's a public transportation issue, but also a private owner's business. You need to be able to use the last mile. It's more or less the same with the bandwidth thing, having like 100 megabit at home or 500 megabit at home. I think there are people in the room which only have 5 megabit at home, and so this last mile, once that is solved, whether it's a public or a private owner's business, then you are really level 5 autonomous. If that issue is not solved, it won't help us, because you still have to do something to get to the point where autonomous picks you up, whether it's in your car and it starts driving, or whether you have to go to some spot and get into the car there.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We're out of time. You got quite a grilling there on questions, so thank you.
Thank you all.